Good morning, Flosstube. It is December 21st, Saturday. Very few days left till Christmas, and I am so glad to be back. I apologize for my 2-month absence, and I'll quickly fill you in on where I've been and what's been going on. We have a new granddaughter, and I think I told you about her on my last video, but we had a trip up to spend time with her and that precious family. We had gone before that to visit our daughter and her family in England, and I think you and we have all talked about that as well. But after that, I got back and got into what I thought was the groove of things and ended up losing a week and a half to sickness. I don't know if it was flu or COVID, but I do not want to be that sick again. So that week and a half just gone. Didn't feel like stitching, didn't feel like reading. It was this horrible headache going right down from the top of my head, body aches, fever, everything except congestion. I was grateful I didn't have congestion. Then my husband lost an aunt who had been such a blessing to our family, and so we made an unexpected trip to Mississippi for her funeral, and we're so blessed to be with her daughters and grandchildren and to celebrate her long and fruitful life. When we got back, we got back into preparations for Christmas, and as you can see behind me, we are decorated and ready for the big day as much as we can be. I hope you are taking a break, hot tea, hot cocoa, some coffee, and taking a breath from all your busyness at this time. Thank you for being here. If you are new, welcome. Please come back. For those who followed me for a long time, you are patient, and I appreciate that. I must tell you before I get into cross stitch that I have not been stitching much, and that's okay. We have seasons of our stitching life, but I'm planning for 2025, and I have lots of goals and lots of hopes as to finishes. The last event I want to share, because I have a cute little haul I want to show you. We spent Thanksgiving with our son and daughter-in-law and their precious daughter, our granddaughter, and had a delicious meal, got to tour her school and playground on the outside, of course, walk around their neighborhood. And that sweet granddaughter gave me an early Christmas gift, and I just had to show you before I start using it. Look at this journal. Now, I loved corgis before I got a dachshund, and I still love corgis, but this journal not only is a beautifully bound and will be well used journal, but look at this corgi's backside. It's squishy. How cute is that? So that sweet granddaughter had to give me this early at Thanksgiving, and I am so glad she did. I've gotten so many smiles and a little bit of stress relief from my corgi journal. But I went with them. It was after Black Friday. It was the Saturday after, to a hotel here in our area called the Gaylord Texan. Every year they do an ice display. They bring craftsmen in from all over the world. This year it was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, so they invited me to go as their guest, oh goodness, to the character breakfast, which was a beautiful buffet with Frosty and Frosty's girlfriend and the abominable snowman, and then to tour that amazing ice exhibit. Guys, you cannot even picture the scenes from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer carved in ice. It was just beyond belief. You put on this heavy parka on top of your normal coat, scarf, everything. It's like 8 degrees inside the display because the ice has to stay frozen. Oh my word, it was worth every penny they paid and every bit of our walking to see. At the end, there was a whole nativity scene carved in ice. I need to put that on my Instagram. It took my breath away. And they even had a craftsman from China who was displaying his work. He was inside the exhibit carving, and I think he was making a teapot, so a very simple carve. But anyway, just the last 2 months have been full, and ups and downs, no question about that. But I'm glad to be back, and I appreciate your patience. Now, I just realized I have forgotten to bring a finish, and I do not know how to pause this, so I'm going to run get it. I can see it from here. You can talk among yourselves. I'll be right back. I'm back. Maybe my sweet Lucy will make an appearance before we're through. So this weekend I will be gifting the finished baby Afghan for my nephew, his wife, and their soon-to-be-born baby girl. Such fun to stitch. This is the moss or the linen stitch that I've talked to you about before that my youngest daughter reminded me of. She loves doing this one, and then I just do 3 to 5 rows of single crochet for my border. This is 3 rows. And cannot wait to think of that sweet baby being wrapped in this blanket. It is Lion's brand. The yarn is called Bundle of Love. It is 100% acrylic, but that just means it will wash and dry well. And the colorway is Sweetheart, which is quite appropriate. This dear family has 2 little boys and now a little girl on the way. So that will be our great niece and my nephew, who is very special to us, and his wife. So that will go to them this weekend, and I'll put that back in the gift bag. Okay, I want to make this short because I have some respect for how busy you are, and hopefully we can visit again soon. So I only have 3 cross stitch whips to show you. The first is one that I bought 3 or 4 years ago in Colorado at the Stitching Shop. Very cool store in Denver. Go there if you're ever near. One of my favorite Christmas carols is Lo, How a Rose Ere Blooming, and this design is called Rose Ere Blooming, and I had to grab it when we were in there. This is by Summerhouse Stitchworks. So the reason it stayed in my stash and was not started was because I did not have the fabric, and I did want to get as close to the green as she shows because I knew that would set off the off-white colors and then the reds and greens. Well, I've ordered fabric from 123 Stitch, sight unseen, but guys, I'm so thrilled with what I ended up with. I have done, excuse me, I was trying to put the board behind. Look at this. So this is how much I've done. It came a flower bright. This has been a lot of fun to stitch. And the green, I think, is as close as I could have gotten. It is 28 count water lily. So I'm stitching 2 over 2, which for my old eyes is probably my sweet spot, 28 or 32. So I'll be working on this through the rest of the holiday. Love that stitch, and that's in my standing hoop. I met a new friend, and I'll tell you about that later. I was telling her about this hoop. It is by Hardwick Manor, and I've really enjoyed it. It's giving me the chance to do two-handed stitching, and it just sits by my stitching chair. Hardwick with an E, Manor. So my next whip is my focus for a finish. This pattern was a gift from our good friend Natalie, Home Sweet Home Handmade. It is Puntini Puntini, When I Think of Stitching. And guys, isn't that the most adorable design and the details? So let me show you how close I am to a finish. You can see it came right out of the hoop. I had filmed this yesterday, guys, and I don't know what happened, but it wouldn't upload. So we are starting over, which is good because I got more done last night. I'm working to finish the little sampler in the middle. Last night I finished those alphabet letters and did a little more of that white fill in. The only thing I have left after this will be 2 spools of thread, which I've started right there, and a scissor fob. This is on a blue box store even weave, and I'm pretty sure it's 28 count. There will be some back stitching to add in, as you can see. Some of it's done, some of it is not. But sweet Natalie even sent the pens that are shown as an extra add-on right there, the pens. And I need to pull those out and show you, but I will definitely show you once it's finished into a pillow, because there's a thimble and, oh goodness, I can't see what else is there, but sewing, I think that's a button, sewing implements or stitching implements. I just love this design. Thank you, Miss Natalie, and I can't wait for it to be a finish. I will show it to you as soon as it is finished and fully finished. That little sampler in the middle is really going to stand out once that white background is finished. And I love the little tomato pin cushion. And then the skeins of floss. Too adorable. All right, my last whip is probably my oldest whip. No question it is. This year will be our 45th wedding anniversary, and that is a long time, guys. We are grateful. And probably 2 years after we were married, I purchased this when we were in graduate school. This is an historic building at the University of Mississippi, Ole Miss, where we were. And this is one of the oldest buildings on campus. It is called the Lyceum. Well, Mac even knows where in the house he would hang it, up above the mantle. And so for this anniversary, I would like to at least get progress on this. I'm not setting a goal to finish, but some progress. Now, about 5 or 6 years ago, I had some dear friends help me restart it on more quality needlepoint canvas, because that was how I was stitching it. But I'm using DMC floss, and they also put it on the stretcher for me, and I restarted it, and it came out for a good bit, as you can see. And then it got tucked away in a big shopping bag in my closet. So I'll have to get all the way over here. That's how big it will be. I'm not sure how long, but I want to say about here. So this is the middle. But if you can see, we have the beautiful blues and greens of the trees and the sky, and a little bit of the gable of the building. This is being stitched 6 strands of DMC over 1 tent stitch. So those of you who are full coverage stitchers, any helpful hints will be appreciated. I am having to stitch it from a paper pattern since it's over 40 years old. But that's okay, I can mark it off with a highlighter. My biggest problem is figuring out how to hold the frame and stitch. It's pretty big. And I don't have a floor stand that actually works very well. I have a cheap one from maybe Michael's. I may bring it out of the garage and see if we can adjust it so that it would actually hold the frame and I could sit up under it. We'll see, but I really want to finish this. I think we would frame it as close to this picture as we could. Maybe more gold and less brown, but what a piece, what a treasure. And definitely our history as a couple, and then history of our families affiliated with this university. Okay, let me move on quickly. I have some haul and a story about meeting a new friend. We went to Houston a few weekends ago for a big celebration. One of our sons, the only one who is not married, got engaged. And so we drove down for the big celebration dinner. And before the party, we stopped in Spring, Texas at 3 Stitches, which is a delightful cross-stitch shop north of Houston. I guess it's north. Anyway, it's in Spring. I got to meet Miss Pam, the owner. My husband and I were browsing, and a young customer, I'm old, right, was also browsing, and she stopped me and she said, "Are you on Flosstube?" Well, she either recognized my voice or the hair. Either one is distinctive, I know. So we were able to chat, and she is a full coverage stitcher, so I'm hoping she will send me some helpful hints if she sees this video. What's exciting is that we're going to try to meet up at our small cross-stitch shop here in my area called the Stitch Niche when she comes up, and either do some stitching there or maybe go to a coffee shop, but get to know each other. I think she would be okay with me telling you that she is on Instagram under Lacy Charlotte, Lacy, and then the word name Charlotte. And if you get on her account, you will be so impressed. And for me, not a full coverage stitcher, quite overwhelmed. She has some gorgeous, gorgeous finishes. But what fun to meet someone who had been watching my videos, and we're shopping in the same stores. So that made my trip. So the haul I'm going to show you is from 3 Stitches. And the only thing I'm sad about is that we did not get a picture of the two of us together in the store. But you can't remember everything, right? And just meeting and talking about our craft and how much we enjoy cross stitch was so exciting. Then we got to go and celebrate our precious son and his fiance and meet her family and all the joy. So a wedding will be in our 2025, we hope. So the first haul my husband found, and you know he picks difficult, challenging pieces for me. This is a gorgeous Rosewood Manor work of our hands. It is just breathtaking, and I love the verse, "Let the beauty of the Lord be upon us and establish the work of our hands." Psalm 90:17. But if you can see from the picture, there are tons of specialty stitches and tons of cross stitches. But look at the little sampler here, and then that really amazing border. But the bouquet of flowers, oh my. I rarely pick out fabric right away, but we decided while we were in the shop that had so much fabric and so many supplies and so many patterns. So we chose this beautiful fabric, and I'm going to tell you what it is. I think it's as close as I could possibly get. Well, I know it's 28 count. Here we go. 28 count Stony Point. I can't wait to start it in 2025. But as you know, I'm supposed to be finishing things. So one finish at a time, right? And one stitch at a time. It's just a cross, one cross stitch at a time. The other beautiful thing about this pattern is she gives you ideas for smaller designs using this pattern. I love that about Karen Kluba. She always gives so many creative ideas. But those colors, and I have all the DMC, so I'll be able to pull those. Oh my goodness. Another big project. Then he found this lovely design by Erica Michaels called Chris Monn's Motif Sampler. These are the designs or the symbols representing Christ. And these are always displayed at Christmas, either on Christmas trees or tapestries or ornaments in our churches. I don't know what color fabric it will decide on or the floss. It is calling for a Vera soie. Butterscotch is the color, I believe. No, that's Belle Soie. Okay, Classic Colorworks, Butterscotch Belle Soie, and Avera Soie Silk. And she does suggest making the ornaments as well. I cannot wait to let this one be a start as well, but it can go in stash for now until Mac and I confer together and decide on our color choice and our floss choice. Okay, I'm gonna round this up, guys. I have a special Christmas package that I got permission to share. You know, we make friends in our cross stitch, and sometimes we've never met these people face to face, but dear Mary of Mary Cat Stitches and I have sent little packages back and forth. Mary actually sent me a huge box at one point when she was moving across the country, and I still pull from her stash of floss and fabric and designs. So we swapped Christmas gifts this year, and I just opened hers early with her permission, as did she mine. And I have to show you because I bought some fabric at 3 Stitches to go with a couple of her designs. Mary, thank you for your friendship, for all your encouragement through these years, and thank you for giving me a smile on a very busy, not so good day, and giving me projects for the new year. So I have to show you this first. These are called Floss Keepers. Big Twist is the company, I guess. And if you would not believe, little cardboard dachshunds. You wrap your floss around his body or her body, and then there it goes right through her mouth. So I'm going to use these for the 2 projects that Mary sent me floss for, that I have fabric for. There are 15 in here, so that should work out perfectly. I cannot wait. I should take them out and show you, shouldn't I? Okay, look at that puppy. I mean, someone is so creative. I love it. So those will be flossed after the holiday. And then the beautiful floss for all of these 2 projects. Look at these colors. Can you see that beautiful burgundy and those greens? Now, when I show you what I'm going to stitch with those, and let me put it with my fabric, you will have as much fun as I did. Let me try to put this out for you. Okay. Oh, look at that. Am I going to be perfect? That's not a beautiful floss toss, but this is also 28 count, and it is vintage country mocha, which I have stitched before in an even weave. This is mottled, but oh, that's gonna be so cool with those colors. Now, the first one I'll start after the holiday, you would not be surprised to guess, is peppermint bark. Look at that dachshund. This is by Dirty Annie's Southern Style. And if you will go to Mary's video, Mary Cat Stitches, she has completed this design. You'll see how adorable it is in person, or stitched, excuse me. So I think that's a finish I could get pretty quickly. And I think on that fabric, I already have my floss. I'm ready to go, kit it up. Then, oh my, I have not seen this one. I love Teresa Kogut, but Mary, this one is just gorgeous. And on that fabric, I think it's going to be perfect. I'd like to do this in February for Valentine's. Teresa Kogut, 2 in a Bush. Isn't that just adorable? And yes, I have all the colors. Oh, that's going to be so much fun. Then the other, excuse me, the other design is an ink circles. Mary does so many beautiful ink circles. She had sent me a large one, and I have not even thought about kitting it up. But this one is manageable, and I definitely will kit it up at some point this year. It is called Croakworth 2008. And that is because it has 2 frogs. Now, I am not a frog person. So Mary and I agreed that I could substitute 2 cute little somethings there to take the place of the frogs. But I absolutely love the Quaker. And that long, narrow design is just so beautiful and so easy to group with other stitching. So I'm going to be a busy lady, which is fun. I need the motivation to step forward and finish and start new things, right? Okay, closing. How much time do I have? About 5 minutes, and I'll let you go. I like to share Christmas books that I'm reading, and I do have another dear friend whom I've never met, Nicole Buckeye Stitcher, who has sent me several Christmas books that I have enjoyed and enjoyed again through the years. So I'll show you those first, and then I'll show you a few others that are in my collection. And I hope you find one that might be a fun read for you. The first one is Jacob T. Marley by William Bennett. If you're familiar with A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, you'll know who Jacob T. Marley was. Just a story to read again and again. And not a thick volume. Actually, very readable. Then the next is a novel that takes place in Britain, Christmas by the Book. This is not a mystery, it's just a life story of owners of a bookshop who have come on hard times and all that happens with their community and their bookstore. So if you are a book lover and a Christmas lover, this is one again to read and again reread. This is by Anne Marie Ryan. It is described as delightful and hopeful, the perfect Christmas treat. I love that. A gift for book lovers everywhere. Then, always, the Mitford books. The one I did not bring to show you is called Shepherd's Abiding, and that is about Father Tim and all the people in the community. This one is the Mitford Snowman, and then Esther's Gift. These are very quick reads and so heartwarming. And I want to say there's some illustrations. Yes, a few. There's the Mitford Snowman. So, not really a children's book. You know, I don't know if this could be, I don't think so. I think it is still for adults. She has written some children's books, but also Shepherd's Abiding, which is a little bit longer, but also a beautiful Christmas read. Then 2 more, guys, and I'll say goodbye and hope to get this uploaded. I don't know what happened to my video yesterday. It never would upload. Fanny Flagg, A Redbird Christmas. She's hilarious. But this is also heartwarming. We were able to hear her speak several years ago. She came to do an author event at our public library. But sweet, just a very sweet story. And then for after Christmas, The Willows in Winter. It was not written by Kenneth Grahame, who wrote the classic, well-loved The Wind in the Willows, but it was written by a modern author, William Horwood, and it is called the sequel to The Wind in the Willows. And it's all about what happens with Frog and Toad and Badger and Mole during those winter months down by the river. Let me find you an illustration. As you know, the illustrations of The Wind in the Willows are so well loved. And there is Ratty. So animals in clothes who speak and live as if they were humans, but still in their animal environment. All right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye at 30 minutes. I hope your holiday is blessed and happy, and that we can get together again in the new year and talk some more about what we're making and stitching and enjoying. Thank you for sharing a little bit of your day with me today. Sending love.